Hello everyone, back with an IRS tax refund update. On today's episode, as those refund delays continue, the IRS has released its latest update, which once again shows problems continuing to get worse when it comes to the backlog of unprocessed tax returns. Meanwhile, as more taxpayers are requesting an update on their tax refunds, the IRS is sending out a new notice, so we'll take a look at that. And some taxpayers are reporting receiving the CP2000 notice, informing them they underreported their income and now owe the IRS in some cases thousands of dollars. Now, as we enter into yet another week of tax refund delays for many of you, the IRS has released its latest update on the status of those unprocessed tax returns and has once again increased the amount of backlog returns to now 11 million, which are made up of both electronic and paper returns. That number has actually increased by over 1 million returns in just the last 3 weeks. Why this is important to share is we're still not seeing any significant progress being made with this problem, and it is extremely concerning since we should be seeing these numbers go down at this point. It also raises the question if the IRS can meet their goal and process the backlog by the end of 2022. What we're seeing is one of the most catastrophic failures when it comes to tax processing, with no one taking accountability for any of this. For those of you waiting on your refunds due to the need for the IRS to process wage information from your employer, there are still over 3.5 million employer tax returns that need processing before a number of your tax returns can even be processed. And for those waiting on amended returns, there are still over 2 million of those remaining unprocessed at this point. Now, besides a very brief update coming out of the IRS on a weekly basis, we've been attempting to determine how many of your tax returns are actually being processed on a weekly basis. However, the IRS stopped releasing those totals over a month ago. At this point, even the excuses many of you have been receiving do not quite add up on why these tax refunds are still outstanding. There is no legitimate reason why, in particular, simple tax returns remain unprocessed. Tax filers continue to be failed on a daily basis when it comes to this issue. For those tax filers who have reached out to the IRS in determining the status of their tax returns and refunds, a growing number are reporting receiving the generic letter as seen here, having indicated they have no record of your unprocessed tax return. In most cases, especially paper filers, do not expect to receive any important update if you receive one of these letters. For those of you who have not seen our June 15th episode, we showed this recent image from the Tax Processing Center in Austin, which shows the IRS employee cafeteria filled with hundreds of carts containing hundreds of thousands of unprocessed tax returns. For those of you who filed paper or you are an e-filer waiting on the IRS to process wage information from your employer who filed by paper, this is the problem you're facing in trying to get your return processed and refund issued. Meanwhile, we are hearing from an increasing number of taxpayers who are indicating they are receiving the CP2000 notice, like seen here, from the IRS indicating proposed changes to their tax returns. Now, in past years, anywhere between 3 to 6 million tax filers have been sent one of these notices, and it has to do with discrepancies on your tax return versus what was reported by a third party, such as an employer, to the IRS. So, for example, it could be as a result of a W-2 or 1099 you forgot to report as income on your tax return, or perhaps never received. It could also be as a result of a W-2 or 1099 you did report, but the issuer, such as an employer, reported a different amount to what you reported or vice versa. Once the IRS makes any revisions, taxpayers could be seeing additional charges from a few $100s to tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the discrepancy. If you believe the IRS is incorrect in their proposed changes, you immediately want to appeal the notice following the instructions contained within the letter. This is one of those notices you do not want to ignore, as there are penalty and interest charges connected to this situation. Be prepared, given the current wait times, you could be waiting 6 months to resolve this issue. Now, checking in on some of those comments, viewer DWP1033, who mailed their paper tax return back on January 28th to the Kansas City Processing Center, has reported after nearly 5 months of waiting to finally receiving that refund. Meanwhile, viewer RV, who spent 6 hours on the phone with the IRS and spoke to 3 different IRS agents, confirmed nothing was flagged with their account to indicate an issue in regards to the delay, but was told due to the current backlog to wait until October 7th before calling them back. Now, mind you, it took them over a month to finally get through to the IRS, and if there's still no update by then, it would take place about 3.5 months away from the start of the 2023 tax season. Let us know in the comments section below what problem you're currently experiencing. In the meantime, we will keep monitoring the situation for further developments, so make sure to click on the thumbs up and subscribe button below for future updates on this channel, and thanks for watching.